Virgo, this is your health, wealth, and happiness reading for the week. Let's get to it. Let's see what Spirit and Universe is going to have to share with you. First and foremost, health. Your health is going to have an unexpected situation this week. This is not something that you control. This is not something that you can take a lead in. However, remember the Tower card, when it appears in a reading, it does indicate that you don't have control over it, or you didn't start the change, or you didn't create the situation. But when you have a Tower card, it's what you do to navigate the waters that determines how it's a good or a bad thing, or how it impacts you and how much it impacts you. So first and foremost, our argument is we need to understand that something will probably happen this week that is going to be a health issue. And the question is, what do you do with it? Okay, this is something that's going to, so if you don't be surprised if while you're going about your daily business, something happens and you start feeling a pain, or you maybe step in the wrong way, and therefore, maybe you twist your ankle, or maybe you're caught in it, maybe you're blindsided by a driver in another car. It could be those things. It could be other things. Maybe you haven't been taking enough water in recently, and then your kidneys are now starting to show it, or they do something crazy. Many ways in which this can show itself. I'm not saying something is going to specifically happen that's dramatic. It doesn't mean that necessarily, but it does say there's some kind of manifestation of a physical change in you this week that will, and it could be even a psychological change. You may get to a point where you just can't deal with it anymore. You kind of break. You're like, I've had it. And because of that one final push that just puts you over the edge. The point is know this week that you will have a triggering incident. You will have a triggering situation. And the question is, what do you do with it? Do you ignore it and let it get worse? Do you acknowledge it, try to figure out quickly how to resolve it? Do you make sure that you do the underlying things necessary to give yourself a better result on the other side? It's all those things. It's what you do with it. But know that this week the energy is strong about something happening. I love this. This is wonderful too. This is the change card. This is the other of the two change cards. This is change out of your control. This is change in your control. This is saying you can control again how this works to your advantage or not. You can control how impactful this is. You have the power to make sure that when this occurs, now you know it's going to occur. Be prepared and say, look, if I have this happen, I need to first of all walk differently. If you've been walking recklessly and so forth, or you've been doing something reckless, don't be so reckless right now. Say you're walking and be cognizant about where you're stepping. Be cognizant when you're on the steps. Be more cognizant. Be more cognizant when you're driving. Make sure you're paying attention to all the things around you, so where maybe an accident doesn't happen. Your activity, your conscious behavior, you paying more attention to your surroundings, to what's going on around you, could very well cancel this out, because you stop it before it starts, because you don't allow the situation. You may have a green light and you hit the gas to take off, and yet you look both ways, even though it's not a stop sign, it's a green light. But then you look both ways, and all of a sudden you see a car comes zooming in because they're running a red light. If you had hit the gas the way you usually do, you probably would have gotten hit. But because you paid attention, you didn't. You could be walking along the sidewalk and not paying attention, and then step into a hole and all of a sudden hurt your ankle. Or you could be watching where you're walking and make sure it doesn't happen. Maybe you're not texting while you're driving. Maybe you're not on the phone while you're driving. Maybe while you're walking, you're not texting either. Again, you're paying attention to your surroundings as well as paying attention to your health. If you feel tweaks or twinges or issues or whatever, if you start getting an itch, is it a rash? Put something on it to kind of calm it down if necessary. Maybe take some medicines, whatever. Don't let it get worse. If you start sneezing because of hay fever, get it under control quickly. Again, all of these points is you taking control. Second card out, if you don't take control, don't be surprised if you ain't comfortable with what happens, because this card is very clear. Something comfortable ain't happening. And something comfortable will happen if, again, you don't take action. And then there's that interesting card. It's a youthful card. It's a card of wands to page of wands. So it's like, okay, you received the news. I've given you the news. I'm giving you the news to what's going to happen. Now, what do? Do you let things happen to you in this way, or do you take steps to make sure that you try to prevent or limit the exposure? I'm leaving that to you. Okay, let's get back to now the wealth side. I'm loving the wealth side, but the wealth side this week is a hanged man. So there's not much happening. I don't see a lot of energy here with this. This is just saying you're not sure which way to go. Maybe you're hedging your bets because you're not sure how the economy is going to go, or you're not sure what the situation in the Middle East is going to bring, or the price of oil is going to do. So this is a week to kind of just hang tight and not really make decisions. Listen to your spirit energy. They'll be kind of guiding you and telling you kind of where you need to go, how you need to do it. But whatever this is around wealth and finances, this week just kind of hang there loose. Don't really do no major commitments. Okay, we're not buying a house right now. We're not signing a contract. You may already be in the process. Well, let it close. But the question is, do you really want to sign? Do you want to be signing new contracts to buy a house right now? Maybe not so much. Your spirit energies will tell you whether it's the right time or wrong time. And again, that's the key here is yes, this is you feeling trapped and or not understanding or not knowing the full extent of things, but listen to your spirit energies. They'll tell you if it's right or wrong. If you listen to your spirit energies and you follow them and don't make any drastic purchases or don't do anything drastic, you are going to be fine. Like this, you're going to be very happy, 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 happy. That's a 10 of cups. It's the happiest card in the deck, right? And it all comes down to you. You have control. Okay, be reasonable, be logical, do what you need to do what makes sense, but only based on, again, what spirit energy is and if numbers add up, those kind of things. But generally speaking, this is not the week to take the chances. It's not a week to take risks. It's a week to be safe with your money and keep it at home if your spirit energy is telling you, and which is confirming what I'm saying. So now we have the health, the wealth. Let's get to the happiness. I love the Emperor card. The Emperor card said you're large and in charge this week. You are in a good space this week, and you need to make sure that you are the one that sets the tempo for everybody this week. So again, part of it's not getting yourself in a financial bind at all, keeping yourself healthy. But if with all those things coming at you, you're going to be in good shape. But remember, you control the energies around you. I love this energy. You're going to get news this week that makes you even happier. News about some new money, newfound money. This could be, and again, it says the abundance card. So this could be maybe an inheritance that you didn't anticipate. This could be a stock price that went up. This could be you have maybe betted for oil and it went up. This could be whatever. The point is, and maybe your crypto is going up, maybe gold's going up, maybe silver's going up. Whatever it is, something's going up, and it's a benefit you didn't expect. So you get news of a benefit you didn't expect, you're going to take it. And then your question is all right, yes. And then your funny part is when it comes in, you're not going to fight it. You're going to say yes. You're not necessarily going to jump on the train. So if it's going up, you're not going to add more to it. You're just going to ride along. So this is like don't add to it. Again, don't do anything. Just kind of let it ride, if anything. All right. And then ultimately we have here the Seven of Swords. And so the Seven of Swords is one of those things. Be careful because someone's coming to ask for money. Someone's coming to ask for money and kind of mess up your good week in that sense if you allow them to. If you give them money, consider it a gift. It's not a loan, you won't get it back. Listen to what I just said. If you give them money, consider it a gift. You're not going to get it back. It will not be a loan. You may think it's a loan. They may think it's a loan. I'm telling you, you ain't getting it back. So if you want to give money, give it as a gift, not a loan, and you're going to make yourself happier. Otherwise, you're going to mess up your happiness because this person, unfortunately, will not be returning that money. The question is, do you want to do it? I would say if they come to you before they even ask or before they even initiate the conversation, make sure you steer it away and you don't even have the conversation, or have a conversation about, can you believe somebody else asked me for money right now and I don't know what the market's doing. So you know what? I had to tell them no. Cut it off before. So in other words, introduce the conversation that you've already told somebody else no, and they're not going to come, but that someone's coming. They're coming knocking. So make sure you don't answer the door. Interesting read this week. Again, it's what you make of it. It's what you do with it. First thing we do is take control of our environment and make sure we're taking control of our health. Secondarily, making sure we're not making any risky ventures or bets. And then better yet, new money's coming into us, found benefit. So again, it could be stocks prices going up, those kind of things. But more importantly, watch for somebody coming in who wants to kind of, spin your light down a little bit because they're going to be asking for money. And your answer really should be yes if you want to consider it a gift. But if it's not a gift, then the answer probably would be no. Read my lips. No. With that said, I'm going to let you go. Have an amazing week. Let me know how this resonates. Hit that like, share, subscribe, and follow buttons, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.